this out, good. Just like Velveeta. Listen to it. It has the mac and cheese sound. My wife is blushing right now. Look how cool it is. What's up, you guys? Before we even get started on this, I know you clicked on this video saying like, no fat mac and cheese. How is that even possible? There's cheese in it, right? We're gonna show you with one ingredient. It's gonna blow your mind how you can create with low fat cheese, creamy shells and cheese like mac and cheese. Very exciting. Stay tuned. Here we go. Let's get right into it. I have 3 ingredients here. Barilla protein penne pasta. We were using the chickpea pasta, the Banza pasta. I just don't like the texture of it. You know, if you look at the macro, unless you're trying to eat like keto, if you're eating keto, you're probably not gonna eat that pasta anyway, or any pasta for that matter. This has the texture that you're looking for and also has just a little bit of extra protein. Honestly, it's not that different from just using regular pasta. That's what we're gonna go with there. And then I'm using mild cheddar. I have craft cheddar. You're looking at probably half the price if you can find this at Walmart. A lot of light from the glare. I'm gonna learn how to do this better. It's all just protein. Third, sodium citrate. This is a tool used by wizards and different chefs. As you can see, looks like a witch right here. You use this and what it does is it keeps the protein from separating. Now there's a lot of science that goes into this. We got a lot of this from Mina, Ayoub. He doesn't know me at all or even that I exist. We have a lot of his recipes that I'm gonna probably cover on this channel. I just wanna give a shout out to him. A trained chef, being able to steal and learn his knowledge has been something that's really helped our families. Let's take those 3 ingredients and get to it. As you can see on our packet here, we have 198 grams, about 200. I'm just gonna claim that it's 200 grams and move from there. You need an equal amount liquid, 200 grams of milk, water, cream, whatever you want, 2% whole, the same amount of cheese as the same amount of liquid. We're gonna go with water because we're gonna get as low calories as possible. So we have our food scale prepared here. We have water here and we have our pot equal to 0. We're just gonna pour 200 grams. It goes pretty fast. I'm spilling as I go, which is fine. No crying over spilt water, they always say. 20708, let's pour off a little bit of that. 199.7, that's about as close as we're gonna get. Perfect. The next step is to measure out your wizard powder, your magical powder. When I say that, I don't mean the same thing that I meant, you know, in my 20s. What you need is 2% of your weight of cheese measured out in sodium citrate. Since we have 200 grams of cheese, just cheese, you don't measure the water here. You're gonna have 100 grams of cheese. That means 2 grams of sodium citrate for every 100 grams. We have 200 grams, therefore we need 4 grams of sodium citrate. I hope that made sense. I'm not very good with math myself, and we're gonna do 4 grams of sodium citrate. Just a heads up, when you buy a scale, buy one that's to 11 pounds max. It'll be able to get those low grams better than if you get like a 33-pound max scale. I went through this and was wondering why my scale was jumping so much. It was made for heavier weights. This is made to max out at lower weights so it handles grams better. That's just a quick tip to let you guys know. Next thing we're gonna do as your water starts to steam, put your sodium citrate in, whisk it, mix it. You can use a spoon, you can use a whisk. I'm gonna use a hand mixer just because I have one. You don't have to have one of these in order to mix things together. You can just use basic prehistoric tools like they did when they were making mac and cheese back in the prehistoric times. Now, as I use my hand mixer, it is gonna be loud, so I'm just gonna fast forward through all this stuff. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our sodium citrate in and mix it up. Starting to steam and simmer. I'm gonna start adding my cheese to it. And I'm gonna get a close-up shot so you guys can see me mixing it as I go. All right. Again, this is gonna be loud, so I'm just gonna put it in a little bit at a time. Here we go. As you can see, we got a nice consistency, kind of like a nacho cheese is what you'll end up getting. One thing I would recommend after you're done, go ahead and rinse off whatever you've used with hot water. But since this is all protein, once it cools down, it's gonna be really hard to clean off unless you get it hot again. Just a little pro tip there. We have our cheese. Check this baby out. This is nacho cheese, so it hasn't broken. It's hot. and ready to go because the sodium citrate has kept it nacho cheesy, which is super neat. The two things I like to do as we're done here, season it, salt to taste. You'll notice that that brings out the flavor. It makes it into almost like a nacho cheese style. And then also I like putting a little bit of nutritional yeast in it. That gives it a little bit of a cheesy flavor. Let's start with salt because everything needs salt. I always put a lot of salt on my things because I'm salty. I'm old enough to be salty now. I deserve it. Salt that to taste, take it off the heat. It will get thick as it cools down. Like real nacho cheese, Velveeta or anything like that. This is basically the same thing with fat-free cheese. As you can see, that's what we're looking at right there. See if you can get a close-up. Oh yeah. Sick. That is so cool. Found my nutritional yeast here. We're just gonna add that to it. Stuff smells cheesy, so just gonna add it to taste. If they were alive, they're dead because it's so hot, so that's fine. Add that together. You can make this into any cheese sauce you want, man. It's basically a dipping sauce or a mac and cheese sauce. Whatever you want it to be, it can be that for you. It's just like me, except for I'm married. That's money. That's good stuff. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start boiling some water. I don't know if you guys have ever boiled water before, but you basically just need water and you need a heat source. I filled a pot with water and now I think I need to heat it up. I think that's what I need to do next. Throw a little salt in there until your water tastes like you're in the ocean. Add enough salt. I salt everything, but it tastes like salty water. And we're gonna bring it to a boil. Almost there. It's getting there. The little bubbles wanna like rise to the top. They want to be free. Once they start getting bigger and they start rising, you are ready to put your pasta in, my friends. Our little guys have risen to the top. We have a rolling boil. I don't know if you can see this. We're doing a rolling boil and we're just gonna go ahead and pour our pasta in. Boom, stir it, bring it back up to a boil again. Once it gets boiling, turn it down just a little bit. It'll want to actually boil up. And what I'd recommend is just blow on it, stir it. But we're gonna put it in for 8 minutes. I always follow the box instructions. Anything pasta related, they're usually dead on. And at the end of that 8 minutes, you can always just taste it and make sure that it's good for you. So quick random plug, waiting for pasta to boil. I'm gonna snack on some of these. These are some of the best chips ever. If you don't know about them yet, they're Quest chips, they're 20 grams of protein. It is like having a protein bar in a bag of chips, and they're phenomenal. The barbecue, oh my God. These are like the nacho style, the chili lime flavor, some of my favorites. So just a quick thing before we get there. There you go. Bottom of the timer, I just turned it off. What you wanna do is just take one piece of your pasta, try it. Yeah, it's dead on. So we're just gonna move it and put it in the colander and drain it. So we got it off of here, blazing hot, and we're just gonna bring it over to the colander that I got in the sink already. So I'm just gonna shake out the water. You can see, look at that. Came out perfect. If you come over here with me, pour that back in the pot. I'm not gonna put it back on the heat because it doesn't need it. And I'm gonna take our cheese sauce from earlier. Check that out in the light here. We still got gooey cheese sauce. Pour that directly in here. My son is excited. He does exist in these videos. He's very, very good, which is really cool. Check this out, dude. Just like Velveeta, check that out. Look how cool it is. Yeah. Added a little bit of pepper, a little bit of paprika. This is all kind of just personal taste. And I want y'all to look at that. Come in, get a good. Check that out, baby. That is like traditional mac and cheese, and it's fat-free. Besides the pasta, I think there's like some grams of fat in the pasta itself. This is a hack for you. For anybody that thinks that you can't have mac and cheese on a diet, that's it for you. So thank you guys so much. We're gonna go over the macros next and dig in. So quick pro tip here. Mac and cheese is so cheap. You get a bag of cheese for $2. You do the pasta for a few bucks as well. Side note, look at what cleaning it did to my scrub daddy. Look at that. Will it actually zoom in on it? All within there. What are the little scrub baby and the scrub mommy gonna do now? The scrub baby's gonna get into crime when he grows up. You're gonna have to actually add the cost of a sponge as well to the price of the mac and cheese when you're doing your budget. Can't wait to eat this. Listen to it. It has the mac and cheese sound. I could do this all day. My wife is blushing right now. Man, I gotta say, science is amazing. And as we've been working with this recipe for the last 3 weeks to a month, we have added a few things that I think make it perfect. Now this does add some calories. It is gonna add a little bit of fat. So it's not fat-free mac and cheese anymore, but we did add a little bit of mozzarella and we did almond milk instead of water. The almond milk really doesn't add anything, maybe a few grams of fat. However, it doesn't absorb as much into the pasta when you store it. So it's able to remain cheesier. We actually added some more cheese as well for the same reason, because we wanted to be able to reheat it and serve it. We made a box of pasta with our cheese. We divided them into 8 servings. So our fat-free mac and cheese, if you make it exactly how we made it in the video, will be 206 calories. It will be 31 grams of carbs, 17 grams of protein, and 1 gram of fat. If you'd like to make our revised version of the mac and cheese with mozzarella and almond milk and you got the calories to spare, it'll be 284 for the calories, 42 for the carbs, 20 for the protein, and 3 for the grams of fat. Thank you so much for joining us today on Fit Fatherhood Kitchen. I hope you got so much value out of this. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing so that we can see you again next time. Have a great one.